So welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. Today we're going to spray foam the shop. I'm not going to do it this time. I got some pros coming out, but we're going to get it done. And let me show you guys what we got going on. But watch your step because the shop is a mess. I got stuff everywhere in here. You guys hang in there. All right, guys, we're in the middle of the shop and it's a cluttered mess because I needed to clear out these other two rooms. Got the molder room over here. The bid stuff is still in there. They'll put some plastic over that stuff to cover it up. And also this room over here, I did the same thing. All the small things and stuff on the shelf, the TV, everything got moved in here out of the way. The contractors will bring plastic with them to cover up the larger things like the table saw, the miter saw, the workbench right there. I did take the lights down. But here's what we're going to be doing. So we're not touching this room right here. It's already done as far as insulation goes, but this room right here needs the ceiling insulated. As you can see right there, guys, we got nothing going on but plywood, tar paper, and metal roof on the ceiling. No insulation. Need to change that. We'll be doing this room as well. This is where the molder is. I need to take down those last few lights. Got 3 more, and also the hangers for the hose collector, my goodness, for the dust collection for the molder. That's the hose that goes outside with the wood chips. I got, what, 5 straps up there. Hopefully, if I take those straps off, it'll kind of hold itself up. Famous last words, it'll probably fall, but we'll have to see what happens on that. But we're gonna be spraying, or the contractors rather, will be spraying the ceiling in here also. Looks like we got some help today. Hello, Mr. Cabbage. Mr. Cabbage. All right, friends, so here's the insulation we're doing today. This is closed cell. You guys have seen me install this in the past. And also, for you guys that's been with me for a long time, about 2018 when we first moved here, I had closed cell insulation sprayed on top of the Sawmill. And the same company, the Mullins company that done that job are the ones coming back today. Now that's closed cell insulation. It's a lot thinner. The R value is a little bit different. It usually goes on between 1 to 3 inches on the thickness, but don't quote me on that because I'm not an expert in this, guys. Like I said, I'm a professional YouTuber. I'm not a professional foam sprayer, although I have done a lot of these DIY kits here on the channel, like what you see behind me here on the wall. Now today we're going to be doing open cell insulation. As far as the difference between open cell and closed cell, which is what I have on the walls down here, I'm going to leave that up to you guys. If you want to know the chemistry of it, as far as what's going on with it, you can Google it. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff out there to read about it. And I may ask the contractors later on today what it is, and I'll give you guys an update if we do. But that's what we're going to be putting on the ceiling in here. And one thing about open cell, it's a lot thicker. I believe we're doing 5 inches today on the ceiling, and that's going to give us an R19 up there. So once the contractors get here, they should be here in about half an hour. They will prep every room by putting plastic over anything that's in here. They'll cover up the molder, this filing cabinet. Some of this stuff over here I'm going to set outside. We can get rid of it. I'm sure they'll cover up the power panel over there and the dust collector. I was going to move the dust collector out of here, but that thing is way too heavy to move by myself. And once they go ahead and prep the area, they'll come in here with their hose and they will spray this ceiling, guys. And I'll tell you, if you've never seen it before, the open cell insulation is pretty interesting to watch because it goes on really thin, but it expands really fast. It's a totally different look than the closed cell that I have on the walls. That stuff is a lot thinner. I may have maybe 1 or 2 inches right here. And when you spray it on, it does not expand very much at all. That open cell stuff, it just goes crazy, guys. I've seen it in videos. I've never had it done before. But it's something to see. I'm looking forward to seeing the process today. All right, guys, they should be here in just a few minutes. I'm going to take down the rest of these lights and move some more stuff out of here so they got less to work around. I got my respirator ready so I can come in here and video this process as it's going on today. I got my old clothes on as well. I know it looks like normal stuff to me, but this shirt's pretty rough. And hopefully we can get some good footage today. Hopefully there's no cameras that get damaged in the process. And more importantly, I don't get spray foam into my beard. That's my biggest fear today right there, getting this thing full of spray foam. It took me forever to grow it. So you guys hang in there. I'm going to finish taking these lights down. We'll see you back here in just a minute. Alright friends, it's the next day. They say to let your room air out for about 24 hours before you go back in it, so that's what we did. Let me show you guys the finished result of all the spray foaming from yesterday. I think it looks pretty good. Right here is the first room that they did. And look over the low lighting, I've not put the LEDs back on the ceiling just yet. Now this room is 30 feet long and 14 foot wide. I tell you what guys, I think it looks really nice and you can tell a huge difference in the temperature today. You no longer feel that heat coming down from the ceiling. That's what we wanted right there. So this room does not have a vented attic. That's the middle part of the barn. So I had the contractors close in the soffits right here. And if you guys recall in the video how he done that, I thought that was pretty interesting, the method he used to make sure all the soffits got closed in. And something else over here, I guess you would call this maybe the gable ends of the barn. This will spray foam right here, this yellow that I installed last fall. That was a DIY kit. And he came down with his insulation and mixed it in with that to make a really nice seal between the two of them. Looks really good. Now we're going to the molder room. I got the lights hung back in it. This room is 12 by 30, so just a little bit smaller and pretty much the same application right there. Looks really nice. And just like the other room, very noticeable on the difference in temperature in here today. It's about 85 degrees outside and a lot cooler in here. Looks really good. Alright friends, let me touch on a few things here briefly because I got my work cut out for me for the rest of the day. I got to put all this stuff back in both rooms. There's a lot of stuff in here. So number one, these might be a few questions you guys are wondering. How much does this stuff weigh? The contractor told me it took 24 gallons of their chemical to spray the insulation on both ceilings in both rooms. And if I remember him right, I think he said per square foot, it's about half of a pound. So that's not very bad at all. So I think both rooms, if you did the math, and I'm trying to do this in my head, I think it would add about 160 pounds of weight to each ceiling. And the second thing is, how much does it cost? I paid the contractor right at $1,900 to do both rooms, and I think that was a great value right there. You know, one room is 12 by 30, the other room is 14 by 30, and they completely covered the ceiling and did more than what they say they was going to do. I think the job quoted me 5 inches of closed cell or open cell insulation. Let me get that right. 5 inches of open cell insulation. But these are 2 by 8 rafters, and when you look up, they're almost filled in completely. So I think I got more than 5 inches out of that. So really good value there, guys. If you're looking to have insulation done, there are DIY kits, and I have done those here on this channel, but I tell you, it's a lot nicer having the pros do it for 2 reasons. Number one, you get a better product, I think. And number two, you don't have to do it. You pay those guys to do it, and they do the cleanup. They put plastic on the floors, the windows, a barrier, barring that room off from this room. They had a ventilation fan going, just top notch, guys, top notch. It was well worth it. And for about $2,000, I thought that was a good value. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And thanks again to the Mullins Company for coming out for the second time since I've been at this property and putting some insulation in my buildings. I really appreciate you guys. So I'm going to cut the cameras off and try to put this stuff back and reorganize it. So you guys hang in there, and I'll see you back here on the next one. Thanks for watching.